Alright, if you're here to see about how to rig a drop shot rig for your spinning pole to fish flies, you're in the right spot. We're going to start with a swivel right up top. This is a number 3 swivel. I'll show you the detail here in a second. We're going to go about 16, 17 inches down to another one, just like this. This goes to the rod. This goes to the drop, down to the weight, which is down here in my bottom hand. Couple split shot. That's about 17 inches. So just say 2 sections about 17 inches. You'll have to play with the weight, the length that you like for the streams you fish and the size of the substrate, the boulders that this is going to be bouncing through. But on each of these swivels, on the downward eye, you're going to tie on a 4 to 5 inch dropper of some 5X, some 6 pound, some nice tippet material, something that'll fool even the spookiest trout. So you're going to have one on the top, one on this middle one right here, one on the second one. It's going to be about 4 or 5 inches. It's going to dangle down to a fly. It's going to dangle down to a fly on this one too. You get about 6 inches, 5, 6 inches, it's too long, it might tangle a little bit. The way you hang the angle on it, it's going to be right on the bottom. So 3, 4, 5 inches, that's where you want to stay. You'll have to play with the angle that you hang it and how that hangs on the bottom. But, you know, if the droppers say 3 or 4 inches, that should be pretty good. So I'm going to tie up a bunch of these rigs, get them on my leaderboard like I've shown you before. I'm going to have 6 rigs on there with 2 flies. The weight's already set up, so when I'm out there fishing and it's windy and cold, boom, I just tie another one on. If I want to change, use some fresh flies. So what am I using? Okay, the Swivels. These ones here, I picked these up off of Amazon. These are the Dr. Fish brand. These are Red Bandia Outdoors approved. These are the number 3s. You could probably go down to a 4 or even a 5 if you want to, you know, have something a little bit finer. This is a 3. This will work for any kind of freshwater fishing that I do. I think it's rated for like 75 pounds or something like that. 80 pounds it says. So these will be linked in the description below. What am I using for weight? I'm sticking with the BBs or the larger Bs. You can see those right here. The bigger one, 2 smaller ones, you know, however you want to match it up. Whatever works best for you, snags the least. You can see the size of them here. They're pretty small. So the B and the BB, I'll have the Dr. Fish brand of the weights in my description, linked below if you want to pick them up fast. And then, of course, the line, we're using the Rio product. We use an 8 pound for the main line, the 5 pound for the dropper, and then of course the flies. So here's the swivel. You can see the swivel in relation to the weights and stuff. Swivel in relation to the flies. So with the flies, try to zoom in a little closer. You have the basic ice pupa. Very simple fly, easy to tie. We'll be teaching everyone how to do that here on Red Bandia Outdoors with the development of this instructional stuff we're putting out. But we'll just stick with the store-bought one. So you go and get an ice pupa, anything like it, any caddis pupa, lightly weighted. Here's another caddis pupa, just a green caddis pupa with a little black wing case coming out of it. And then, of course, this one here is a popular one that everyone likes to use. These are all size 16. They're different hooks, but they're all size 16. This is the Rainbow Warrior. I'll have pictures of these, and then places you can go to get these in the description, fly shops where I go to buy my stuff online. The Rainbow Warrior, size 16. It kind of has like a pinky color to it. And so those are going to be, I usually put those on as my top fly, right? You know, that's the light fly that's kind of floating up here as a bug might be swimming up to to the surface, some of the smaller stuff you see hatching, boom, that's your top fly. I catch a lot of fish on that one, but when you want to be down on the bottom, you know, it's easy to just go with the Jimmy leg, you know, or the Pat's rubber legs, whatever they call it, you know, rubber leg stone. These things here, I tied a bunch of these up. You can see I got a handful of them. Handful of them to take with me to Montana in a few days. There's orange ones, orange and brown. It's a floss leg, chenille body. These ones are all unweighted because I just want the weight to be on the bottom of the stream, and then these flies will kind of float a little bit more naturally than, say, if they had a weight on them where they'd kind of be like ping, kind of stuck straight, kind of tight, you know. So the cool thing about this rig is you take the weight off the fly, and it's on the rig. You know, it's tight on the rig, like, and you have control of that. You can feel it. But just kind of like a natural fly, the stuff you got's kind of just floating. And so with that floss and everything, when you take the weight off of that, on some of these flies, that floss, that rubber, and that floss, it really gets to move around and look real. And so a fly like this, you know, or a fly like this fished on the bottom usually produces, of course, black. Black's always pretty good. You know, and these are real easy to tie. So this will be part of kind of the instructional series of like, all right, this is do-it-yourself kind of channel. So we're going to show you how to make these, and then be able to tie these rigs up yourself. Obviously, this is pretty simple stuff, right? It's a swivel, 2 swivels, some line. You don't even need to use the Tippet. You know, if you want to just use Berkley big game, Charlene big game, that's what I use a lot. I have a 6-pound reel of that. So when I fish here on my home river to the shoots, 6-pound Berkley big game main line, you know. But when I'm going to a place like the Madison or something like that, the Yellowstone, which is pretty heavily fished all the time, I'm switching it up, going to a fly fishing Tippet material. This one here is 8-pound. So it's pretty stout. You should be able to snap it out of the snags and the boulders and stuff a little bit. And then, of course, what the fish should be seeing, that's the Rio 5X. So that's really about it. You know, I mean, you can tie them up, get them on your leaderboard. So I have 4, 5, 6 rigs on there. We'll be talking about some streamers and stuff too with some of these different videos. So stick with me and watch those. So I'll have a couple streamers on this side, but I'll fill 4 or 5, at least 6 of those up there. You know, I already have some ones that I use around here. And then, of course, we're getting into egg season real close here. The salmon are going to start to spawn. So I have those ones I'm rigging up too. But for my new trip, my next trip, right here, the stone flies and the tiny caddis. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe if this stuff's valuable to you. Comment, let me know what I'm forgetting, what I'm missing. This is your basic fly tying, your fly stuff at the fly shop. You know, you get the materials or the flies. You can anybody can do this. This is real easy stuff. So thanks for checking in.